Hello dear friends. This is the Ukrainian Gaming Week Insider podcast. My name is Lavrenty Gubin, and today our guest is Alina Plyushch, a partner of Senko Kurenko law firm, as well as a member of the expert council at the Commission for Regulation of Gambling and Lotteries. Hi, Alina.
Hello.
Alina, I would like to learn your expert opinion about a B2B license. The first licenses have been issued recently. Please tell us about the legal requirements for those who want to obtain such a license.
Indeed, in March of this year, the licensing conditions were finally approved for those who want to obtain a service license, the so-called B2B license. Requirements to licensees are quite liberal compared to organizers of gambling activities. There are no requirements for the minimum authorized capital, for the number of employees. There are only requirements that the ultimate beneficial owners of licensees should not be residents of the Russian Federation. In addition, licensee shareholders must not have any business in Russia. In addition, there must be an impeccable reputation among the managers, director, chief accountant, as well as the ultimate beneficial owners of the licensee. Thus, the requirements are really moderate. The cost of the license is also low, 300 minimum living wages. The license is issued for 5 years, and the license fee is paid immediately for 5 years. At the moment, there are several companies that have received licenses. There are those that are still in the process. But this is undoubtedly a good step from the Commission, and it is great that the law stipulates that. Because these service licenses solve a big problem that the developers had. When law enforcement agencies came to them with searches and charged them with the illegal organization of gambling. Now this service license solves the issue. Now, if the developers don't work directly with the players, don't accept bets, don't pay out the winnings, but partially or completely develop software for the organizers of gambling, regardless of whether these organizers are located in Ukraine or overseas, they only need to get this license. As I said, the license is not expensive. €54,000 at the moment, for 5 years. And they completely become a legal business, with a license. I believe that all issues with law enforcement agencies should be removed.
What other payments are also there for a business that decides to work under this license? €54,000, you said, in 5 years. What else?
In order to obtain this license, you need to register a Ukrainian legal entity. The legislation for service licenses does not specify any special taxation regime, such as for GGR operators. It simply involves a general taxation system, so they will pay an income tax of 18%.
If a business has a gambling license, for example, it is a casino or a slot machine hall, can they get a similar license? And use it for some additional services that they will provide within the framework of their project?
There are foreign clients who are now registering and applying for a license for an online casino, and at the same time, they are planning to register another company and obtain a separate service license for it. Because, as a rule, they share these businesses. This company can develop software for all companies of the group, not only for those in Ukraine but also for their foreign companies. It is a very common practice that Ukrainian programmers are recruited for development, so they are considering the option of registering a separate company and obtaining a service license for it, under which all those people will already be employed.
I understand that we are now talking about the developers, but I am also interested in the so-called streaming service. Does it fall under this license? Because this business is developing very strongly in some countries. Perhaps it will also develop actively in Ukraine.
Yes, and we now have a client that is about to get such a license. Because they are planning to work not with the Ukrainian market but conduct activities from Ukraine. And this is really popular. Several companies are interested. We believe that this license covers if they really don't work directly with the players, but only stream for operators, it does not matter, Ukrainian or foreign ones, then this is also part of the service license, a B2B license.
Are there any problems that you see in this matter, or perhaps difficulties that should be solved?
I think that since there is no practice yet, of course, it will be necessary to clarify about live casinos, possibly during the checks. I would recommend companies to seek an official clarification from the Commission for Regulation of Gambling and Lotteries, what this license really covers. And what if they receive a service license and they don't directly work with the players in any way? They don't accept bets, don't pay out winnings. Just to be sure that they describe their business model and get some kind of an answer from the Commission that they can safely work under a service license.
How popular is this license among potential investors now?
Yesterday I was approached by some foreign operators again. They read my article and got interested. They want to get the license because they have Ukrainian developers. This is a very common model. And they are thinking about it. They are a squeaky clean business. They want to fully work in the legal field. They learned that there is a completely new license. I think it will be very popular, especially for such foreign companies. They have long thought about setting up a company here to avoid the risk, having a permanent establishment. Therefore, they want to register a company, employ programmers as employees and obtain this service license.
Ukraine is not the first country to have such a license, and it will have to compete on the international market for operators. In your opinion, how competitive is the law in comparison with other countries, such as the Baltic states, Malta, Georgia maybe?
Such service licenses are really popular in Malta, Romania. Georgia also has just launched this. I believe that Ukraine is competitive in this matter. Because the cost of a license is low, €54,000 over 5 years. And besides, Ukraine historically has great, strong programmers who are getting hired, and the labor force, if we are talking about the streaming again, is cheaper than, for example, in Malta or in Romania. Thus, I think it will be very popular in Ukraine. It will really be in demand. Because they have already been recruiting our workforce for this. But now, it will be official, through registered companies that will receive a service license.
Alina, thank you for the detailed information. I hope to meet you this September at Ukrainian Gaming Week. Good luck. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.